Hi everyone, and welcome to Two-Player Quest, where I help you on your quest to find the best two-player board games for you. In today's video, I have Mini Rogue by Nuts Publishing. Mini Rogue is a minimalistic dungeon crawling game in which you fight monsters, gain and spend resources, and do your best to find Og's Blood, which is a very mysterious ruby. You do this by going through a randomly generated dungeon. Is this the kind of game for you, and how does it work? Well, let's explore. Mini Rogue is a game for 1 to 2 players that plays in 30 to 45 minutes. It's at a 2.02 on Board Game Geek for complexity, so it's definitely an easy game, and it's high luck. It's all about cards that are randomly drawn and dice rolls, which are random, of course. So couldn't get much higher luck than that. This is what the board will look like at the start of a 2-player game. So we have 2 characters, the cleric and the mage. We have our cheat sheets, the main board, and our current dungeon level. So you can see on the main board, you have certain levels. So you have floor 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you go through 10 dungeons of these in total to get to the bottom. And here you have a monster HP counter. We'll get to those in a moment. The game plays as follows. We are currently on a card. This is the first dungeon card that we enter. This is the first dungeon card we come across. You have a name, what it is, what you can do. In this case, you can buy stuff because it is a shop, basically. So here we could buy stuff if we have gold. Now, currently our mage does have some gold, as you can see on their player board. I'll quickly go into a bit more detail of the player board. Here you have your XP, you start with 0, of course. Then you have armor, HP, then you have how much food you have, how much gold you have, and how many potions. Now, on your character, it also tells you what you start with. For example, this one starts with 11 HP, 3 coin, 4 food, and a perception potion, and it has your special abilities, which will differ per character. So back to our hunter, we could choose to sell stuff, buy stuff, it depends on what you want to do. Once we've done our action here, we go see what the possibilities are for the next actions. So you turn around the 2 cards adjacent, and then the starter player chooses where they want to go first. You have an empty shelter where you can find stuff, or you have the hermit where you can do some other stuff. You choose one and you do what it says. And you keep going with this until you basically enter the first floor. So say this happens, and here we have 2 enemies. So we both go to this monster, so I can explain how combat works. First, a quick explanation about the dice. You always have 1 black and 1 white dice. Now, once you go level up, that's when you gain extra white dice to do certain things with. These 2 are the cursed dice and the poison dice. You mainly don't want to get these because they are bad for you. This gives you 1 damage, and this gives you a curse with which you have to subtract 1 from whatever you roll. So that's bad. But for this first combat, you can see for 2 players, the monster has 12 HP. The starting player rolls a dice. Now they have a 3 and a 5. The 5 is the white number, is the amount of damage that you do. And the 3 is the black number in this case, is if you get attacked back or not. So in this case, you do 5 damage. So you put that onto the monster track. And a 3 means that you do take damage back, but just normal damage, which in this case is 2 HP. And depending on what level you are, something different happens. So for example, if we were on floor 4, we'd get a Kingsguard with 15 and 30 damage, 15 and 30 HP, and does 8 damage plus poison, rather than while we're on floor 1, it has 12 HP and only does 2 damage. If you were to roll a 6, this is an exploding dice. So you could choose to roll another one. But if you were to roll a miss, like this one, that means the original 6 is also gone. So you need to be careful with stacking these 6s. If you were to roll a 1 on this die, you don't get hit, and if you were to roll a 6, that means you get hit and the attack goes through your armor if you were to have any. Now, we've done 5 damage. Unfortunately, we have not killed it yet, so we get 2 damage back. So we go 2, then it is the other player's turn, and then we keep rolling in this order until the monster is dead. Now, when the monster died, in this case, we'd get 1 XP. So on our player boards, we'd move 1 XP up. And this is basically how you play the game. Once you go down a first step of stairs, on the board, you see you go to the second part of floor 1. You turn this around and you find the enemy you have to attack at the end of next room, basically. You then take all of the cards, you reshuffle the whole deck, and you place 8 new cards. So in this case, we have a monster to start with, and we have 8 new cards to get through. And that is in essence the game. You fight the monsters. Once you get to floor 10, you fight Og to find Og's blood. And that's the game. You die if anybody were to go to 0 HP, and you win if you get Og's blood. Teaching Mini Rogue to new players is really easy. It will probably take you 5 minutes, at most 10, depending on the level of your players. So you can get started really easily and really quickly. If you're looking for a game that doesn't take up much room in your bag or on the table, then this could be a good fit. It's a simple, easy to explain, easy to set up dungeon crawler, which doesn't take too long. So it's great for new players or on the go or in between games if you have some time to kill. Despite it being a simple game, it still certainly has intense moments. And with the resource management and some other things, it also makes it interesting for more experienced players. But if you don't like luck, then you might want to look elsewhere, as this is certainly a very luck-based game. We like the game. It's a small enough size, or length at least, for us to play in, say, a lunch break or when you don't have a lot of time, but you do have some time to kill. So for that, we really like it to bring it on the go, to airports, to family. If we have some time left, then this is a good fit for us. Despite its shorter playtime, it still feels like you're playing a proper dungeon crawl. Now, of course, not all games are going to go as easy as others, as it is a luck-based game. You have to accept the fact that you might sometimes lose. But having said that, that hasn't happened to us yet, but it's about the journey, not about the outcome, as they always say. We really like the fact that you also have some resource management. So you can decide, oh, do I want to spend some extra, what do I want to get? Do I want to focus on XP, HP, coins so I can get armor, stuff like that, to keep us as more experienced board gamers a bit more interested in the game. So for us, I would definitely say it was a good buy. And that brings us to the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching our review of Mini Rogue. If you want to see another one of my reviews, you can click up here. If you have any comments, feedback or suggestions, feel free to put them down below, and I look forward to seeing you next time on 2 Player Quest.